Hi YouTube, this is my first video. My name is Alex, I'm 24, I'm a professional cellist. I live in Buffalo, New York, and I'm going through this pandemic like the whole world. And it's given me a lot of time to reflect on what happened in these last 24 years. I don't particularly have an agenda for this video, but I do have some things in mind I really felt compelled to talk about. And one of those things was false humility. Now, I mentioned I'm a professional cellist. I did 6 years of school. 6 years of music school, for that matter. I trained at one of the best music conservatories in the country, the Peabody Conservatory of Music. And I went to State University for my bachelor's. And very varied experiences, but long story short, I came out a really competent musician, and that's wonderful. But there's been some serious self-doubt along the way, and I know every human being has self-doubt, otherwise we wouldn't be human. But I really can't seem to shake some of the not so great parts of my education. And I guess this video maybe is more to open the conversation to people who have felt like they just could not quite believe in themselves, even though they felt like they have so much to give. I do feel like I have lots to give as an artist, as a human being to the world. But I just have struggled with feeling like I've had to catch up a lot. Something you should know is as I go under this tree, something you should know about me is I've had to catch up. Well, I hate that word, but I started music very late. And going through a little bit of a maze here on my daily walks. I started late compared to a lot of my string playing peers. 14 years old, which is incredibly old to start playing a stringed instrument and to want to do it at the level that I pretty much do it at now. But I was so passionate about music and had a real fire to want to make music. I mean, I can tell you, there was one day in 8th grade, where they say like feeling for music is, everyone has it, and for whatever reason in that year, all the feelings, the real feelings for music, whatever that means, I don't even know what I'm saying when I say that, it just came to be, and I just knew I had to do this. And I worked relentlessly, and I was so enthusiastic, and maybe sometimes to my detriment, because on stage I would just feel music so strongly and with all my whole body, and in a way, naively, was probably being self-centered on stage. And in no way was I trying to be. It was such genuine joy, and I guess I was 15, 14. I was a kid, 24 now, like I said, a little more perspective. Then I went to school and really went to school driven to get all the tools to master the cello, to really understand music, to control music, to harness the power of music for my mission to share. And along the way, I just felt sometimes very stifled. Like the light was snuffed out sometimes. The passion. And maybe for good reason in some ways, but you know, I felt pretty knocked down in a lot of ways. And in retrospect, now looking back at all of it, and now teaching my own students, I can see that it's probably better. It is better to take what a student has. In the case of me, I had a real, and I still do. Thank God I still have my love of music, which burns even hotter to this day, which is amazing. But in my opinion, it's better to work with a student's energy and enthusiasm and passion and channel it the right way. And this was all figured out with a lot of introspection with one of my absolute best friends in the world, who I met toward the end of my time in Baltimore and who we still keep in touch to this day. And before COVID kind of ripped that, I had found a friend group in Baltimore who I finally felt like, in my opinion, understood my passion, and I felt the light coming back. But alas, COVID happened and ripped people apart. I didn't have a proper graduation, and I know many other graduating seniors or masters or doctorate students did not get a proper graduation this year, and that is really awful. So I don't know, I said I didn't really have an agenda for this video, but maybe it's just an introduction to myself. I felt like it was time to put something out there. I'm not gonna lie to you, I almost didn't even turn on the camera, but I was given some really wise advice. Just turn the camera on when you're ready, or when you feel something. And you know, I hope maybe bringing light to all of this might help some of you. Maybe we'll close. I don't know. I have a lot more thoughts, but as I said, this might just be the intro video. After 6 years of really having doubts and whatnot, I can safely say that, you know, and having false modesty, the world doesn't need that. The world doesn't need false modesty. The world needs all of us to shine and to express our gifts very as authentically as we can. You know, so the world needs you to shine, because there's so much brokenness and whatnot in the world, but there's so much beauty too. And by being falsely modest, you're not doing anyone a disservice. You're actually really trying to cover up for something, maybe some insecurity deep down, or I don't know. There's nothing wrong with recognizing your gifts and using them. What you choose to do with them is up to you ultimately, but there's nothing wrong with recognizing your gifts. And perhaps this is more of a S'more is helping me get out those feelings of doubt and I don't know. So I'm Alex. I'm 24. I'm a cellist. I love music so much. I love people. I love life. And I don't know about you, but I'm ready to get back in the world and give to the world once this pandemic's over. And I hope all the artists and anyone else, you're ready too, because trust me, the world's gonna need so much after this. And it's really up to us to help provide that.